Here we are. This is it. This is
Wow.
the final quarterfinal. The Viper versus Yo.
Yep.
And as we just been saying, this could be a final. Both of these favorites, or sorry, both of these players were favorites going into the tourney. And I've just seen Yo's doc.
Well, I've seen Yo's doc, and I also looked at the map, and this is the only time I've ever seen with this map generation we do not have a landlock on one side. It's close, but it's not there.
True.
You can dock block that, but it's not there.
True. So, well, that is a first, Dave. A Viper's gone for the Indians, which is not a first for Nomad. We've seen it before, but we're seeing more civilizations mixed in as we've eliminated 4 of the top picked civilizations going into the final weekend. Is this doc going to be good for Yo or bad for Yo?
I
'Cause
like it
that is
as
the
Koreans. I like it as
yeah,
Koreans because he's got 4 deep fish in there. Or
true,
no,
true.
5. He's got 5 deep fish in there. Actually,
I,
really good if you're going for a fast castle sort of strategy. Because
mhm.
what are the odds that Viper is going to find that and realize it's actually a dock, considering the size of that pond? And what are the odds that he's going to invest so much into water fighting that back?
Very good point. And it also is going to be confusing for both players to not encounter a landlock. And that combined with the fact that Viper is going to see some water in the middle and likely assume he won't find the enemy there,
Mm-hmm.
he might not end up scouting it at all here.
Yeah, it's an interesting map generation for sure. Let's take a look at what both players can see. Yo's scouting. He's going to find the rhino south of there, so that's going to help him. Immediately goes out for that. Perfect timing to find that. And he only has the one goat that you start with to scout around, so he's going to have to use it wisely.
Hmm.
Usually, if you only have one of them, you don't want to spend time scouting the shoreline. You want to find some rhinos first. Looks like he's found another rhino north, so maybe he can scout how much of this pond he actually owns, how much real estate he has. He has to be kind of sweating at the moment, seeing this shoreline and thinking, oh God, please, please let there be fish. Please let there be fish.
There was a game, and it's probably going to be hard for people to find it, but I think it was between Good Luck and Golden End,
Mm-hmm.
where a player had a bigger middle pond, and they just blindly went fast feudal into double dock galleys, and they didn't realize that they were in there on their own until they had 8 galleys. It was pretty sad, but I think Yo is going to figure that out, and Yo will actually like this, like you said, Dave.
Yeah, as long as he sees that there's other fish in here, right? Like he
Yeah.
almost, you might want to come out with the fishing ship just to explore to see if you invest into 3 fish here or 4 fish or 5 fish before going for another dock. Just because you're unsure how many deep fish are actually in this pond. He's going to go up for that other rhino there. Viper also going for that rhino. Which villager gets there first?
I think Yo, but it could
Or
be
Viper doesn't see it.
close.
Viper doesn't know about it. He's just
Oh.
heading right there. And look, there you go.
Well, that kind of sucks for Viper because he's going to have to take a longer trip now to find a rhino. I know he didn't know it was there, but there's not going to be another rhino close to this one. So we'll see if he maybe notices that and changes up his strat a little bit. Another thing to bring up here, Dave, is that Viper, and I think this is kind of his play as a whole over the last few years. If there's ever a game he's going to drop, if there was ever a game he was going to look a bit weaker in, it's usually game 1. First game of the day can be a little slower for him. So I think Yo should try and take advantage of that.
Viper not seeing that dock. Yo actually noticing the house foundation. Viper not seeing the dock, but he knows the rhino disappeared. And he can
Yeah.
see the zebra moving around there.
Does he look back at that enough to see the zebra continues to move? I feel like you assume a TC is there before you assume a
Well,
dock
no,
is
yeah,
there.
especially because the rhino got taken. And
Yeah.
he saw the rhino there.
Yeah, and he'll see this rhino. Viper should notice that. That's probably what he's looking for. And he's fine for food right now. He's got zebra. He's got rhino underneath his TC. He's got some sheep. Little block of Ruski here just to guide this villager in. And what do you think about Viper's dock? I mean, it's not a bad dock because he can fish the whole outer circle if he continues to add more.
I mean, it's a
But
pretty
it's
good dock,
not,
yeah.
it's not the best, I guess.
He's got 3 fish he can take. By the time he redocks, he's gonna, like, it's gonna be perfect timing. The fish will all expire. And then he goes right
Yeah.
to the corner, right? Should be really good. Let's check his point of view again. Yeah, he had limited goats early in the game, and I believe, no, he didn't give one to Mr. Yo, but he knows about the TC spot around there. and he hasn't really scouted that much of the shoreline either. So he's going to be unsure on where to pressure with early feudal water pressure. So he might just go for a fast castle build himself.
I feel like if you're up against Koreans, you got to be expecting a fast castle build. But we have seen Koreans be competitive for water too, so still a little tricky. I just love to see Yo go for war wagons, go for a forward castle, especially if he can get more scouting. I don't know if he knows where Viper's TC is, Dave, but look where Viper has to take his stone and gold. That is brutal against Koreans.
Yep. And I think it's definitely should be an FC play for Mr. Yo. He's got 5 more villagers queued. He's got 7 fishing ships in this one little pond in the middle. And he's even going out to take the extra zebra. So I think he's thinking along the same lines. Viper is already on the way up to the feudal age. It's getting some food from the rhinoceros. Still hasn't found the dock from Mr. Yo. And
he's bringing his dockville to the middle, Dave. Is he going to dock there? Or is he sending her home?
He must suspect something's going on there. He might be
That's
trying to
weird.
send her home.
That's weird.
And Yo's going to notice that villager.
Well, Viper's a quick wall god, so you have to be careful if you're Yo.
No loom on that vill, by the way. He went up with no loom.
Isn't it normal for the dock villager to just redock for more efficient fish in the south here? That's very odd that Viper hasn't gone to gold at all. Is Viper going to go scouts? Is this going to be the first scout rush we've seen in 1v1 Game 1 Nomad?
He does have a barracks there. Playing as the Indian, so saves a little bit of food on his villagers, and he has a lot of food in the bank.
Wow, this is... I mean, it's a good strategy for Nomad for everyone except for maybe the top 100.
Yeah.
Like, scouting on Nomad's key, but also scout rushing can be good. I'm surprised to see this when the meta has very much been about fighting for fish. It won't be a concern for Viper because
did Yo
he can't
spot
do
that?
anything.
Yo lost the goat. He didn't spot the stable. And he's going to chase this villager all the way back near the eco from Viper. Viper, I believe, got loom. Yeah, so he's going to be able to push that villager from Yo away. Yo also going up no loom. Yo walling to the right as well as Viper adds a scout. And this could be really bad for Yo because he still has 40 seconds roughly to the feudal age and he doesn't have loom yet. And Yo, look, Yo is trying to wall off here. It's not going to work. Villager
I'd
dead.
be surprised. We'll know what type of shape Yo's in. Yeah, I was going to say, with no loom, he'll know.
Viper
so
scout
Viper
the
will
fishing
see
ships?
the fish.
Yeah, he does.
And also, this gives Yo a heads up that he can just wall up his resources, which is kind of why we don't see a lot of scout rushing on Nomad, because players just do what Yo is doing now.
Scouts and towers work sometimes, and Yo is going to finish the wall at the top. Does he finish that? He does.
Wow.
Viper can't get in with the scout. There's only one in the south, and it's not going to be able to do too much damage. Viper might actually run into the TC. He does. And now Yo is in the feudal age, but Viper is there as well with around the same amount of resources. So, good stuff.
Yeah, what I like about this for Viper is he got damage in, he got scouting intel, he can confirm all of his suspicions, and his macro behind this is still really strong to go Castle Age. Whereas Yo is hoping that he can get to War Wagons, but this means he can't go for a forward castle anymore. This means that he can't really move around with his villagers, apart from maybe, going out to those berries, which Viper will find.
Yeah, good map control, and Viper still has more scouts, man. He's got 3 scouts around here. He's waiting for Yo to expand with his economy as Yo goes for quick walls around the mill in the north. And what does Yo open with? Yo made 1 galley from his dock in the middle. It's going to be tough for him to place TCs anywhere around here. It's going to be tough for him to place a castle that's actually in a good position just because of these scouts.
Yo, I think Viper will spot that Yo is going to overforge this bush. That's a really bad quick wall. You want to get a few more palisades down there. Viper's going to, I bet you any money he circles back to that. There's 15 food on that bush.
Any money?
$2. I every time
more
I put
like
money
penny
down on
money.
Viper,
Jesus.
it's a mistake. I guess I had higher hopes for Viper than I should have there, but Yo hasn't noticed that, and Viper goes in for the Vill, just toying with Yo at the moment. And how do you think Yo feels? Because Viper's scouted everything. Viper knows exactly what Yo is gonna do.
This is very annoying because if you're going FC with Koreans, you are banking on the fact you're going to be there first, and you're banking on the fact you're getting your castle in a decent location. And he's going to get there first, but it's going to be really rough for him to get his castle in a good spot and get it down even safely in his own eco with these scouts around here. Viper goes in for the goat. Oh my god.
The goat killing the goat.
Yeah.
That's actually really bad for Yo because he's about to run out of food underneath his TC.
Yep.
And his fish is pretty inefficient at the moment, so.
Fish is gone. He's going to have to add fish traps behind this. He has, to be fair, he has enough wood.
He does. Also, Viper, and something I think you mentioned, but just in case we didn't, he did dock the north. So he recognized this would not be a game where they would be competitive for water.
Mm-hmm.
So he controls the land, adds more water. We now see the castle here for Yo, and Viper will know what's coming now.
And Yo is docking the side there, which I think is great when you have 850 wood in the bank. I think that's a good play, even just for fishing ships, even if they're going to die. Invest that wood into something, right? Also needs to get access to that gold at some point. If he goes out there, the scouts will catch him. I guess if he makes one wagon, he should be able to secure it, but...
One of the rare opportunities for turtle ships to do some damage here, because Viper doesn't have anything on water. So if you get a couple turtle ships patrolling around, Viper, he has one dock on the outer ring in the north and one in the south, so I don't think Viper would actually invest into any water to defend that.
Okay, Yo adding some farms now, actually using his wood. It's been a rough game so far for Yo. I mean, Viper has had 1 minute and 2 seconds of idle TC time, which is why Yo is a little bit further ahead in the villager count, but Yo just now getting a turtle ship, and he's rowing to the south.
I don't know if that's actually rowing. I feel like with the definitive edition, they could have put that on the list, you know?
It looks like it's hovering, like none of the ship is in the water, just kind of floating.
Yeah. No sails. Not really sure about that. Actually, what's that thing? And never mind. We should look back at the camels. The camels got to the berries there. But Yo has done a really good job of minimizing the damage.
Oh, dude. But Yo had a good TC spot right next to that stone, and Viper was just patrolling back and forth over top of that, dodging ballistics. The camels are now in against the war wagons. Be able to kill a villager here. Second villager goes down.
Dude, that's
and now
no
the scouts
joke.
are working on the wall. Yeah, this is really good play from Viper. He is on one today. Oh my god.
3 TCs for the Viper. It's all in one spot, which seems like it could be bad if a lot of things go wrong. But he not only killed villagers there, but he delayed the town center.
Yo is on the fishing ships from Viper. He doesn't realize yet, though. Okay, now he realizes. Going to take them out. We're going to try to. Yo also going for a TC over to the left side. His fishing ships are working on the last available shore fish in the pond, so he's going to need to add fish traps behind this. Villager count still fairly even. Just all the pressure is from Viper. Yo with a good quick wall, actually, on the berries.
Because I don't see anything right now. He's probably quick walling wherever you saw. Maybe on the berries. I'm not a big fan of Yo's TC on the left. I think it takes too long to get that up, and he doesn't have the protection. But I guess if he gets it down, he'll be a bit more pleased with the situation. Just is asking for trouble. When Viper has scouts, it's asking for trouble.
Yo, you need to quick wall there. Yo. Oh my god, that was filthy, but it's a gate. Indians get the bonus damage. You need to repair right away. As soon as this is done, you need to start repairing.
Oh. Honestly,
okay, never mind.
That was so epic, bro.
It was.
I thought he was doomed. He waited till the last
second. And he saved a war wagon up north, too. And saved the villager on the berries, too. Like, Viper's micro has been really good here, but Yo has been pretty good at stalling out any of the damage, too. And now Viper is housed. Yo is sitting at 39 vills, 47 for Viper. Yo cleared up the fish in the south. And he's got the turtle ship now looping all the way around, hovering its way around to the north.
I think Yo is just a couple steps behind with economy, though. His fish aren't working in the middle, so you can subtract that from his eco count. Viper's got both the wood and also the farm upgrade. And the Viper also realizing that he needs to heal up his army. These guys are talking about the battle they just fought in. And, you know, the monks could always be good against war wagons. So, Viper, I don't know how, but he's actually about to go imp soon. This is insane macro from him.
Imp into what? Monk upgrades? Like...
I think
he wants a castle for
if
sure.
If he can get a castle, yeah, like castle to the north of Yo, and then go monks, trebs. I think could work well, or maybe even this TC. I don't know. It's kind of you've got two good options.
His army is really out of position to deal with these war wagons here from Yo, and I think Yo, he doesn't see anything here from Viper. Good splits from Viper. Great. I guess not splits because you can't split with villagers, but he dodged the shots there.
Yeah.
I think Yo needs to take a chance maybe and go under the TCs with the war wagons.
I would love to see guard tower. Just come forward and drop a tower on the stone. You know the monastery's there. He probably doesn't know that Viper has 4 relics or 3 relics about to be 4. That's insane.
Good walls.
And look at the quick walls from Yo.
Yeah, they're in.
Viper gets in. And we're maybe seeing the weakness of the wagons. It takes so long to get them rolling. And you also have to have them in one spot. And Viper just hitting the right positions this game.
Turtle
oh
ship.
My God, Viper also converted 3 wagons right there. What?
Oh my goodness. Where did the monks come from? Where did the monks come from?
He had them with the relic there, but what a turn of events. So he kills villagers, converts half the wagon army, and now he comes forward with the castle. Viper's playing sick here.
Yeah, he also cleared up the turtle ship in the north that was there waiting to kill all the fish from Mr. Yo. So great stuff there from Viper. Camel's now distracting the wagons once again. That'll give him time to get the castle down. He canceled that foundation. He's going to place it even closer. He knows he's up to Imperial Age faster than Mr. Yo, and he's coming over with these war wagons now. And the question for me is, where does Yo send these wagons? Because if he sends them over there, there might be potential to deny this. I think you go forward with guard towers right away if you see this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think guard towers are so much better as well.
This could be really bad for Viper. This could be really bad for Viper. Yo's going to go forward with the castle.
Drops a castle. Now, that could be trebbed if Viper just deletes his own castle, so I prefer to just follow this. Yeah, just track it. Just track it and tower it or something.
He deletes his foundation, and he's waiting. He's like, yeah, I know. I know you want a castle. That should tell Yo that Viper is faster, or is up to Imperial Age as well. That castle
that's
foundation.
Why I don't like a castle. That's why I would prefer guard tower, because you give Viper a target.
Mm-hmm.
Viper used the war wagons he converted to take out most of the fishing ships. As he does finally reach Imp, he still has the lead. Did get a good engagement against the wagons, too. It was kind of all in here, Dave. He needs to find areas that are not protected by the castle, and he could actually raid Viper if he wants to.
Well, wagons working on the fishing ships now for Mr. Yo. That was a lot of investment into fish traps. It's going to be going down the drain. Wagon versus wagon is such a slow clear up there. But he is going to push them away. Another turtle ship went down in the north to the fire ships, so Viper's fish is still safe after all this time, and Yo is still not up to Imperial Age.
That's just, and it's crazy because Viper has spent food on his camels and his scouts, whereas wagons do not cost food, and yet here we are, and Viper was still able to macro his way to Imp.
Another wagon converted.
I love the patience from Viper here to not send his trebs after the castle and just avoid it. He goes right back to the golds. Yo reacts immediately, but this is a problem for Yo. He needs to have wagons everywhere right now.
And Viper keeps returning to that gold with the camels.
Yeah.
They're back there again, continuing to harass Yo. He's found the dock on the right side, so he's going to cover that off. Wagons from Mr. Yo are going in. And they can tank fire from TCs. I like this a lot. I mean, Viper is going to have to respond to this. And odds are he doesn't have enough monks to deal with 9 wagons.
And Viper's brought his treb over and the wagons he converted. The value he's gotten from these, man. He's going to kill some vills on the left, but I think Yo could possibly circle some new wagons over there to deal with that. And Viper's camels still haven't killed any of these wagons. So it feels like eventually this has to end for Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, TC's doing enough, I guess.
Good spot to sit there for Mr. Yo, though. Viper just deletes the house, and now Viper still pressuring that town center. It goes down to the trebuchet, and 3 wagons there. Mr. Yo calls the GG. Really well played there from Viper, and that's a scout opening that we haven't seen yet in this tournament.
It was so good. I think the big thing for Viper was he was able to realize Yo was FC, and he was able to notice that he could just fish boom on the outside. It's such a risky thing to just add fish freely. He did that. He scouted the map. And Yo played really well here. Yo went into the war wagons. Yo had amazing quick walls and reactions to Viper. But Viper was just one step ahead the entire game. So, I mentioned Viper can sometimes start off a little slow in a series, and it did not feel like that at all here.
No, he was on fire with that micro with the scouts. Like, he was diving in, killing the goat under the TC, kept running in there, being annoying. Like, microing them over top of where he knows the TC foundation is from Mr. Yo to deny it. It's all the little things he was doing. And Mr. Yo, credit to him, like, the execution was there too with those quick walls that we saw from him early. They were really, really nice. He just couldn't get a good position for his castle. The first castle, and that dictated the game. Also, the pond in the middle. I mean, he couldn't expand his fish either.
Yeah, maybe it kind of forced him to adapt a bit more than he wanted. But honestly, Dave, every other time we've seen someone just go fast castle and add fish, they've never added scouts. They've just waited to make knights, or in this case, camels and castle, and then the castle's already on their face. So just 3 scouts changed the entire game because Yo had to build his castle next to his town center. And Viper was able to do what he does best and macro it up. Ends the game with 4 relics. And Yo will take us to one of his home maps next.
That's a really good sign for this series that both players started out with that level.
Yeah, that was clean.
Yeah, very, very clean stuff. And yeah, we go on to Yo's home map, and I love his home map series. Got Houseboat and Boundary Brawl, which are just 2 of my favorite maps in the pool.
Yeah, Houseboat, Boundary Brawl, I agree with you. I think that both maps have a tendency to give us crazy games that are unlike the previous one we've seen. But there are some similarities. Of course, there are some things we might be able to compare to the previous sets, and we'll go in Game 2 Houseboat. I see already that Viper seems to agree with his teammates, Doubt and Tato, and he has gone for the Malay.
And I like this.
I'm at 12 seconds.
I would 12 seconds. Oh my god. I would suspect Viper will go for the boomy approach rather than a forward dock approach, similar to what Doubt did, similar to what we saw from Sato earlier in the tournament. And I'm ready to go, dude.
All right, cool. Yeah, 3, 2, 1, go. But yeah, let's talk about that. Now, for viewers who didn't see the Doubt Leary set, you should already put that on your watch later list, okay? It was an amazing set. And so we're going to reference a few things because of how crazy it was. But in that game, Doubt invited the pressure. Leary invited the pressure. And unlike all the other games we've seen on this map, we didn't actually see players go forward to dock the opponent for a while. So you seem to think that that would suit Viper style here.
I think playing a little bit more defensively, yeah. Okay. Yo says, did you choose the server? Yes, West India.
Okay, so they paused. Hopefully the issues resulted or resolved themselves.
Okay. I forgot about the house on the outside. I saw Viper's unbuilt house there for a long time, and I was thinking it was going to be house, but you do start with one on the outside, so it is fine. Viper's start will be okay, and let's talk a little bit more about the Malay. I think as long as you keep your docks forward and they have the extra line of sight and you're able to respond right away to any enemy aggression, it can be really, really strong. But there's a couple things you need to do. Dock forward, like I said, respond right away, and then wall up. And you should be in a good position, even against the Mayans.
I feel like the other thing is have your scout active. Because in Dark Age, you never want to fight an eagle, but you're faster than an eagle. In Feudal Age, you're much faster than the eagle, and you wreck that eagle. So it's actually very easy for you to just have free reign over the front of your base with your scout. And honestly, just thinking stylistically here, I feel like both players might end up giving us a game similar to what we saw with Leary and what we saw with Doubt, because A, Viper's king at sitting back and just fishing, and he loves his Malay. I think he will be able to balance that out. And then B, Yo should probably want to do that with Mayans. Like, what we've seen with Mayans has been defense, walls, and plumed archers. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And it feels weird, and I feel like it's easier for me to say that both players will just sit back because we saw it in the previous quarter, but I don't know. It kind of makes more sense.
I think this lumber camp tells you that both players are going to sit back from Mr. Yo. What is going on with this one? I haven't seen. It's pretty far back there, and usually we see the lumber camp along these wood lines. Maybe he just doesn't want to get it messed up with his mill or mining camps or whatever. He's got it back there, and he's gone for the dock on the inside ring, which is something we don't see that often at this stage in the tournament. We saw it in earlier rounds, but I think players have realized that they want a dock on the outside to gather the fish because the fish in the middle are going to be gone anyway.
The thing that sucks about it is sometimes your fish are closer to the center island, and in this
Yeah.
case, that's what Yo spotted. But I'm with you. I personally would prefer to see Viper's position, where he can take 400 more food from the outer dock, and I think that's worth it. So, who's the best player in the world with Malay?
I mean, clearly Viper, right?
Probably a bad time to ask the question. It's a little obvious.
Dude,
but
do you remember that one
still
in the
good.
Fair Civs Cup? Him, Hera, and Viper. And Viper had literally, I think he had no villagers left on the map. And he just had fish traps on the team islands.
On islands, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that was a crazy situation.
Hera, I think 3.5 hours into that game, Hera realized that microing 2 galleons against Viper wasn't really a winning condition, and he gave up.
Okay, I've never seen this before. Yo is not sending any buffaloes underneath his TC.
Yeah, he's sending them out to a mill that he's going to build here.
Dude, I feel like if Viper were to scout that, A, he could take the buffalo. And then B, if the buffalo are close enough to Yo where they don't switch, Viper would just kill them with his scout. That seems so risky.
He's got 6 of them now. It's like a
It's
big
so
number. That's a lot of buffalo to have.
Making me hungry here, man. Oh my god. Well, let's see. Let's do the math here. 6 times 150. That's 900? 900? 1,000 food? Something like that? Plus the deer, plus an elephant close by. I mean, again, another indicator here that maybe we see fast castle for him is Viper with a second dock in Dark Age.
Yeah, he's going for the big fish boom. And he's going to have a crazy line of sight with these docks. I'm surprised he hasn't set it up on the front side. He'll have no warning if Yo is coming over here. And I wonder if Yo is going to come over. It's pretty late now to send any villas. I think Yo, with that mill in the back and whatnot, is just going to play this pretty defensively.
I honestly feel like this right here, the fact that we're in the quarterfinals, the final weekend, and we see this big of a shift in 2 quarterfinals is one of the biggest standouts to me in terms of meta changes. Because I'm thinking other ones, we obviously see different civs, but the difference in civs has to do with some of the rules on when they can use certain things. But I don't know if there's been another map where players have adjusted to this degree. Because we've went from full feudal, all in from every single player, to just, no, not going to do anything, have fun.
I guess Viper set up that dock there not to make fishing ships, just to get access to their shore fish and make his fish a little bit more efficient. Like, it's an extra 50 food over a mill, but it affects your villagers and your fishing ships. So,
well, if he doesn't scout a villager coming forward,
he's sending 2 vills right now. What is going on?
He's going to go for a third dock, dude.
In between those,
he's going to go for a third dock.
Yeah,
and he's simply So he's on gold. So if he needs to make fires, he can. But if he doesn't see anything, he just adds more fish.
I wonder if he was against any other civ but Mayans, would he do the same build?
I think the answer is no to that. Or at least I don't think he would assume as much. I think it's fairly easy for him to assume that Yo would want to play defensive here.
Oh, is he going to find these water buffalo? Okay, Yo's pulling them towards his bills.
Is it Yo commanding the buffalo to come closer, or is it the buffalo scared of the Viper?
They come hither.
It still seems really bad to me. I don't know.
Doesn't make
Viper
sense.
is leading right now.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, at least keep a few of them on there for the times that, you forget to move your transport ship. Yeah, or you don't have the...
Yeah, like right now, just have a few buffalo and all your villagers instantly go to work.
Yep. Now, Yo is going to stone. Yo is making market blacksmiths, so he's thinking about clicking up, and Viper keeps adding fishing ships. And he's going to add fish traps once all this fish is gone, and he's going to have a lot of food eco. And that means that he can allocate his villagers that would be on food onto other resources, so he should have better production. Granted, it does cost quite a bit of an investment to get all the fish traps set up.
Yeah. But if you know you won't be docked, right? If you keep a constant eye on it, you're never... Like, remember when it has happened to Doubt? Doubt was under pressure, and then it started to fall apart. But the way he's placing his docks, he can see everything with the Malay vision, and he has his scout to always snipe a villager. So it really doesn't feel like it's realistic for Yo to ever do anything here.
Well, do anything now. He could have done something earlier when Viper had both the docks at the back.
Well, I guess it's just theory crafting more. it's just so tough to justify going forward against Malay
Yep.
because they advance so fast. So you just don't do it, and
Could you
think about plumes.
make an argument here for Yo scouting all of this stuff, seeing all the fishing ships from Viper? He's on stone right now. Sees all the like send the barn and
Go forward.
get a castle on the shoreline there somewhere.
Honestly, I don't hate it. I think that it doesn't suit Mayans. Like if you had Koreans again, you know, it's perfect. It doesn't suit Mayans because Mayans want to sit back behind castles and go.
But
for
I
eco,
think at some point you want to get stuff onto this pond. Like you need stuff on this pond, and if you get a castle there, you can at least get some docks.
Well, I guess another argument against it is you're not. You are terrified of Malay eco to an extent, but you're not terrified of Malay options. If you're
Yeah, the Civ matchup, I suppose.
So you probably just want to go plumes regardless.
Ooh, Viper
sees this.
picking at a little villager here. Yo,
There's
moving the water buffalo once again. Just why would you ever bring them out there? And Viper's gonna find them. Dude.
This is so dumb, dude.
No, he's not gonna find them.
No, he will, and he'll either take them or he'll kill them. As we said a long time ago.
Look, Yo's killing them first.
Yo's like, I want to eat them.
Oh, that's
Why,
so funny,
though?
dude. That's so funny. And he's gonna let him get this one and then loop back and kill it? No.
That's like minus 500 food. It makes zero sense to me, yo.
That's so funny.
I was just gonna say before this, there's a part of me that wanted Viper to find them.
Yeah.
But there was a part of me that very much didn't want him to find them because of how frustrating it would be. But his scout is actually trapped back here, Dave. And Yo's gonna go for a little quick wall.
Wow, dude,
Wow.
that was insane.
Dude, if I'm Yo right now, I'd be like, how does it feel? You know, how does that taste? Eat it, you know.
Do you remember? Oh, he's going forward, Tristan. He's doing it. He's doing it. Let's go. Classic Mr. Yo. Okay. And that's because he killed the scout from Viper.
Yep.
So Viper will have no idea. Mr. Yo, what can he see? He sees both of those docks. I think you get it set up on that hill right beside the berries. It's on the dock there. If there's any fish traps that Viper has set up there, you will be able to kill them. You'll be able to dock in front of that castle if you want to.
Okay, so if Yo was a little more patient here and scouted that TC, which I don't think he will for Viper, he should switch his castle spot, but he's going to just place it right away. And now, what do you do if you're Viper? Do you make Navy just to hold the back docks and the potential for fish traps?
He's making some galleys, but it's going to be tough because I don't think you can deny these docks anyway with that castle there.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to deny the castle. Like, War Galley will not be in fast enough. Fletching won't be in fast enough. The ships won't be out fast enough.
I have to say, Viper's Eco looking juicy right now. He's got 11 fishing ships. It's unfortunate that some of the fish traps are kind of close to where the docks will be, but he has 3 TCs, and then he has the third TC just completing, as well as a pretty solid wall off on the right side.
Yep. The real purpose of this castle, guys, is to give Mr. Yo an opportunity to get on Viper's Pond.
Also, if you're going to be getting Fletching and Bodkin, that helps your ships and your plumes.
Yep.
So you could always just loop a few plumes around, and that's going to be the concern for Viper. Constant attention on water, and you never want to overinvest into your own pond. And then also constant attention on land, as he's added a siege workshop, and he's going to go for some siege already.
Viper is going to have to invest so much to keep Yo off this water.
Well,
Yo needs to get Fletching and Bodkin, please.
Yeah. Yeah,
Please.
like if he doesn't get those upgrades, Yo will actually lose the docks.
Yeah.
What do you think about the TC in the middle there for Yo? Right behind the castle.
Well, he had his vills there anyway.
Yeah. Okay, pops out with 2 fires. This is a surprise to me. I'm surprised he popped out so early. I thought he would just wait it out. But Viper didn't have Bodkin yet, so maybe he realized that.
Yep.
Viper loses 2 ships. And again, how much does Viper want to invest? This is almost like what we thought Viper would do in Feudal.
Yep.
Just sit back and try and judge how much he needs to make.
I think
to
Yo
defend
just
based
go
on how
around
much
and kill the
comes
fish
forward.
traps here. Just ignore the fishing ships. Just kill the fish traps.
Yeah. Also, you know, just the other thing you have to remember is this isn't going to be pretty for Yo because he's just going to patrol some stuff in, and he's going to focus mainly on his economy. And at home, he's doing all right there. He actually has more on food than Viper does. 50 vills versus 60? I think I would prefer the Mayans position. Obviously, like, you have to compare the players too. But I think if I'm Mayans, putting pressure on the Malay fish,
Yep.
3 TC eco,
And
the
this
ability
is
to make plumed archers, I'm feeling
like
good.
this is military that Viper's investing in that can never hit Yo's eco.
Yeah.
Yo now goes for fletching. That's good. He's going for a demo ship. Man, there's some juicy demo areas that he could take out fishing ships and traps.
Does a demo one-shot a fish trap?
I would assume so.
What's the HP on a fish trap?
50.
Fishing ship 60? Yeah, it should. Kind of funny how Yo's taking the elephant in the middle now. I love the amount of adapting players have to do. And oh, there's the demo. And Viper actually does end up taking a shot. But he has his own demo. And man, Viper's got so much here. Oh my god. Viper loves fish.
He is not going to give this up. Actually, a mangonel too from Mr. Yo. I thought I heard a villager die, and I think he picked one off.
Viper. He sees the elephant vills, and he just hit. Oh man, that could have been so much worse for Yo.
The eagle is there from Yo. He doesn't realize
True.
it's there, but it is. And this mangonel on the other side from Mr. Yo is still harassing the TC from Viper.
Yeah, that's double mango as well. Viper closing in on the stone to build a castle, but he doesn't have anything beyond just his own siege. Is that's actually going to get pushed back by villagers from Yo. Nice job.
Viper making a barracks now. What does he go into here? Does he make a stable? He's got a siege workshop in the north, but no military buildings in the south. Okay, goes for a stable. And in classic Mr. Yo fashion, while Viper is fighting somewhere else, Mr. Yo has a mangonel on one of his TCs. It's just like vintage Mr. Yo, right? Always pressuring somewhere, always holding you in your own base, and then booming up behind. At least in the games where he finds success. And he's still making fire galleys in the pond here. Viper forced to go into so much navy to hold on to this fish trap real estate in the middle.
Like, look at the confidence from Viper. I think he's intentionally letting... Never mind. This can't be intentional.
Letting himself
He's gonna
be
lose the
housed
TC.
and letting himself lose that TC?
Well, my thought is he realizes there's no plumes or monks, so he would send in knights and mop it up and,
He's going for a castle on
villagers
Mr.
could save the
Yo's...
day.
Oh, God, he's going for a castle on Mr. Yo's TC in the middle.
And if Viper's thinking about this, he'll go in with the knight on the right side at the same time. Yo will probably not be able to react to both areas. Let's see what Yo sees first. He sees the siege, Dave. He doesn't react yet to the castle. This timing's perfect for Viper. He sees it. He's dropping a tower, but Viper's sending more vills over here.
Yeah, you need more than one tower. That's too many vills.
Yes.
Yo should cancel this. I think he's concerned with getting the mangonels out too. I think that one, if he gets it back to the castle, might survive. No, the castle shots miss. And 2 mangonels go down. Castle will go up from Viper.
Look at the food count for Viper right now and explain that to me.
Fish traps.
Is it all fish traps, though? He's got 13 fishing ships. He's got 43 on food.
Yep.
Like, his farming eco is insane. And he's about to go imp. And Yo, I mean, he's not even close here. I don't think Yo will be able to go imp in, like, 20 minutes.
I think Yo needed a second castle somewhere. Yo has a lot of fires. Oh, my goodness. Where did they come from?
Oh, jeez.
I think he needed to keep, instead of like 6 on stone, he needed like 10 on stone.
Yeah.
As soon as he got that first castle up, and then use those villagers forward to make a second one somewhere.
I mean, you could also argue as he's possibly going to take Viper off of water now. And it would have been more beneficial to have plumes in the middle
Yep.
and fires on the water, because that castle from Viper only happened because Yo didn't have any plume support.
Good demo
Viper's still
from
doing
Viper.
a good job to hold here. Yeah, and Viper's still, I mean, he's brought Yo into a position where he wants to clear up water. It's still not happening.
That knight is going to be so annoying in the back of Yo's base.
Good reaction, though, from Yo. He's got to get something back there, Dave. He's got 3 plumes. He is fletching. He doesn't have Bodkin. His castle's in the middle of the map. He is moving around towards Viper, though, in the south. Viper's going to have to deal with this. And the knight goes down for Viper, so maybe still a chance for Yo here, down 13 eco. Unable to do damage to the fish. Will unfortunately lose a TC in the middle, too. As he added another one. He's taking another elephant and yet
I think he
another
can wipe
gold
up
area.
the navy now from Viper. If Viper doesn't keep producing. He is, of course, producing. Viper has really prioritized this pond. Really, really has. I mean, he got ahead on eco there, and he's managed to hold against all the fire ship pressure from Mr. Yo. He's in Imperial Age now. He goes for a treb, and he's going to immediately start wiping up that castle. And tries
Viper
for
might be
another one.
thinking- Yeah, Viper might be thinking a little too far ahead here.
Yeah, that's not going to work with Plumes there.
A little awkward and a little sloppy as finally we're seeing, Dave, what could have happened with Plumes, right? Like, he created Plumes so late.
Well, if he made Plumes, it didn't go for the siege workshop and simply went for another castle to break in.
Yeah.
I think this could have worked while you kept the fire ship numbers up and kept pressuring Viper on the water, but he went for the siege approach instead of all that.
This is, I have to say, an awkward spot for Viper at the moment. Considering he's an imp, he still has the lead, don't get me wrong.
Castle's
But
denied,
you never
though.
want to go imp into cav armor with Malay.
Yeah.
I mean, he is going to take out the castle, of course. And Yo's going to get mega housed. But Yo is on the way to imp, at least. So there is that. Okay, so Viper's food count has gone down significantly. I think that's because a lot of his food count was actually him taking elephants and deer. Not because he had 40 farms.
So now what does Yo do? You can't go into Plumes here because you're going to lose your castle.
Yep.
Feels like you just have to go into Eagles, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't have any food in the bank. He's only got 16 on food right now. He's got 1,300 wood. Maybe he can drop some farms. He's going into monasteries. Oh, this is going to be really rough for Mr. Yo.
I think you have to try and continue to go Plumes because going Eagles just gets shredded by Viper having double castle. Like Karambit Warriors are such a cheap unit. And you also have the fallback to go Force Levy, where you have men-at-arms or long swords or... sorry, I can't say the right unit.
Two-handed
swordsman. Thank you. That only cost food. So I think you have to go Plumes. And he's going to fall back. I love this castle for Yo, because if he built it more forward, Viper would target that.
Viper queues up more fishing ships.
Yeah, and now, if he gets a castle next to his shoreline, he should honestly delete his navy. Just get rid of the pop
100%.
space.
100%.
Yeah.
Or just get harbors and go forward and make harbors on Yo's pond.
Yeah.
Or Thelocracy
TC.
or whatever it's called.
And Yo's TC will go down. That's not his imp TC. But that's the second TC he'll lose here. And he still doesn't have army, Dave. And even if he has Plumes, he's not going to have enough castles to produce more. Viper has double castle, soon triple castle, maybe quadruple castle. Where he can just go Karambits. And Viper, this is like his first real attack on Yo's base this game.
I think the choice from Mr. Yo to go 3 TC behind that forward castle was a bit of a mistake. It's just too much of an investment. With the siege and everything like that, I think the water pressure, the castle was good, the water pressure was good. It was just too much to ask for.
I think what I would have preferred to see is the plumed archers.
Yeah.
Because what we said, you're not scared of the Malay eco as much as you are, or sorry, you're not scared of the Malay units at all if you make plumes. And he just didn't prioritize the plumes. We saw kind of some opportunities for the plumed archers near the tail end there, but as Viper's just taking out building after building here, it's 150 pop for him. And this is before he's even in his final form. Like, he could have castles all over the map at this point. 12 army for Yo. Played so well to get here. Obviously beat Slam, Viper's teammate. Crazy series that one was. But Viper has just not looked touchable so far this series. He's got everything he needs here, Dave.
Yo,
the only thing he's missing is maybe a few technologies.
Yeah, Yo does have a lot of res in the bank. Viper getting elite Karambit. Like, how often do we see that upgrade? Never.
It's probably the first time in at least the later stages of the tourney.
Yeah.
First player to actually not win with Malay, because Doubt did against Miguel, but I mean take it to this stage against Mayan.
And there's the harbors, Tristan.
No way. So I think it's Thalassocracy's coming in. So the docks turn into harbors. They will fire arrows.
He's going to add skirmishers behind this, I believe. Is it skirms or is it arbalists behind this? He's getting the archery ranges down, and it is going to be skirms, so it's going to be elite Karambit warrior skirmisher against plumed archer. And we can see from this engagement how well the Karambits do against the plumes if the plumes are allowed to micro. But Mr. Yo is going to have bigger things to pay attention to soon, as his castle is still being trebbed down in the north there, trying to build up his plume archer mess, trying to get chemistry, get all his upgrades. But Viper is already on his pond. He's going to make cannon galleons here. He's going to have the
This is
harbors to
just-
retreat to, and there's a line of castles down the middle, too. Wow.
There is no doubt in Viper's mind that this game is over right now. Like, Elite Cannon Galleon is completely unnecessary, but also very much necessary if you want to tell yo, dude, this is not your day today. And it works, too. I mean, he will go after the castle, but this is crazy. Viper's doing everything. The Plumed Archer's getting some good kills against the Gambits, but Yo can't push. Yo can't do damage to Viper's eco. Can't do anything about this right now.
Yo's not going to give up just yet. I mean, he's at 97 vills. He has Plumed Archers, but the Cannon Galleons, you can't stop it. And yeah, he calls the GG. Well played there from Viper. I like the idea from Yo, but I also love the hold on water from Viper. If Viper had lost the pawn there, I think this game would have turned out completely differently, because suddenly he can't deal with the siege push with his navy, which he stalled it out with. He has to build the castle at home, I think, on the shoreline, and it's just a completely different story. The investment into water there from Viper saved him.
I'm curious on what would have happened in two instances. I'm curious if Yo would have made his castle forward if he wouldn't have killed Viper's scout. I think he probably would have made it more defensive, then made more plumes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also curious on if, after the forward castle was up, if he kind of, forced Viper into some defensive stuff on water and then just focused on the sides with plumes.
Yep.
I think both of those things, it's easy for us to say, but maybe would have prevented Viper from expanding. Certainly would have prevented Viper from being able to drop that castle on Yo's middle TC.
Or don't even go for that middle TC. Save the res, go for a second castle somewhere, right?
But honestly, dude, like, we concluded King of the Desert recently, which was an incredible 1v1 Arabia tourney. And I was just saying the whole time, like, this is peak Viper. Peak Viper has returned. No question marks over his wrist, to how tired he is, whatever. And, like, watching this, man, I mean, Yo's playing well, and Viper is just soaking up the pressure and doesn't seem to be bothered by any of this. It's really incredible.
Hey, let's see if we can see another reverse sweep. Damn, dude.
Yeah, true. True. I mean, it didn't look good for Dowd earlier today. Viper had more of every resource, by the way. He had 3K more gold, 1,300 more stone there, and then 8K more food in that game. That was insane. Someone said it all comes down to the cows. All right. Well, game 3 will be on the final home map for Yo. And he's gone with Boundary Brawl more than any other player. He went with Boundary Brawl against Hera. He also went with Boundary Brawl against Slam. And for Boundary Brawl, I've seen it now, Dave. He's going to go Berbers. And the Viper's going to go Chinese. His very
Berbers.
first
So
pick.
he went Celts against Slam. And then he picked it against Hera too, right?
He actually had Berbers against Hera.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think, Berbers versus Mayans in that set.
Well, I'm ready to go when you are. And
Yep,
I'm looking
cool.
forward to this one. 3, 2, 1, go. We have Yo against Viper, game number 3 here, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Wandering Warriors Cup round of 8. And we have Berbers against Chinese. Now, Chinese are going to be good here because they get the extra villagers as soon as the TC is up, and you can put those right onto the hunt. So you get the food income pretty quickly. That means you can start creating more villagers as soon as possible, which is usually the Chinese problem. However, you are going to have less wood, so Viper's going to need to probably take these straggler trees a little bit, and he won't be able to get a dock down too early, so no early fish for him, likely.
And let's see. With Chinese, it's all about, will they take any significant damage? Wait, hold on. Viper's placed a gate preemptively. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. And Yo's going to go for both. Oh my god, Yo could lose a vill here.
Dude, Yo needs god tier micro here. As he goes to just casually build the TC. Yo, he loses one.
And it could be more. Yo, and Viper can see this as well. Viper probably won't signal it because that would be rude. But this is...
He shot the...
my god.
No, Yo, he goes
No.
the GG. No, that's not how this ends. That's not how this ends. That is not how this ends.
That's up there with one of the saddest finishes to a series we have seen. And to be honest, Dave, Yo trying to do way too much there.
Like, it's tragic. It's absolutely tragic, but he deserves it
He
for
deserves
trying
it,
to
yes.
do that when the TC's not even up, and then sending them back to build the town center while it's being attacked in her rear end by a rhino.
Yeah. So here's the thought process, because I understand this won't be the most popular finish. There's only 4 rhinos in the middle. And so he wanted to snag 2 of them that were kind of further away, so Viper would only have 1. And yeah, if he waits another second there even, I think he's in trouble because you have to kill them somehow. Well, not what we would have wanted to see. Obviously, Yo played amazing in this tourney. He also had a really tough road. You think
Yep.
of who he faced up against. He faced up against Slam. He faced up against Hera. He beat both of those players.
Yep.
And then goes out to Viper 3-0. But, I mean, expected to say a little bit more about this game, Dave. So I guess I'll just reiterate the point we said 5 minutes ago. Viper looked really good today. Also, final point.
Couldn't he have read this one?
Well, so you do have 1 restart before 4 minutes, and you could technically call the restart. It doesn't say that you have to call the restart based on map gen or anything like that. But if I had to guess, I would say that since we don't cast the rees,
Yeah,
it's
they
a waste
already
of
used
time,
one. Yeah.
if it most likely he already used a restart earlier on,
Or
or he
or
just
it's
didn't want to call a re for that reason.
if your opponent can see you doing this and it happens, like, there might be an argument for just, all right, I'm out. Like, I'm gone. I can't recover.
Against Viper too. Like
Yeah.
like I highly doubt anyone's going to have a lot of confidence they can come back
Oh man,
when Viper's in this form.
I feel really bad for Yo here. I feel great for Viper and I feel great for the tournament because Viper looks like he's on fire right now.